Hey, and welcome to Call Center Chronicles. My name is Juanita Coley, the founder of Solid Rock Consulting, where we help call centers implement better technology, optimize the technology they currently have in place, and build stronger workforce management teams. We created Call Center Chronicles as a place for CEOs, call center professionals, and tech leaders looking to have fun yet thought-provoking call center conversations that improve their customer experiences and company's bottom line. One of our goals as a company at Solid Rock Consulting is to normalize women in tech and workforce management leadership roles. So buckle up as we dive deep into some exciting yet riveting topics that we believe will change the face of customer service and how it's done. Welcome to episode 1, where we are talking about why your answering service may be costing you money. So before we hop right in, let's talk about, first of all, what is an answering service and why companies use them. So when we are talking about larger companies, they typically refer to this as BPO, business process outsourcers, where another company would be handling the overflow for their customer service calls. So say, for example, they are receiving a lot of calls. They may hire another company that would be receiving the overflow calls for them. Well, in smaller entities, startup companies or small business companies, sometimes a CEO may elect to use an answering service. And this answering service primary job is to handle the customer service calls or contacts for this startup or small business so that they can do the thing that they got into business for. And typically you see this where you may be working a full-time job, and so you're transitioning into full-time entrepreneurship. And so while you're working your full-time job, you would elect to hire an answering service company to answer your calls for you so that you can do what you need to do, right? Be able to fund the business you're still working and still also be able to build your brand and build your business and offer good customer service. And so companies will elect to use what's known as an answering service, where while they're working their day job, or sometimes they're even working in their business, they just don't have time to answer customer service calls all day because they're out, doing the work. And so they will elect to hire an answering service company to answer calls for them. So this can be definitely a benefit for you to, again, build your brand voice and also make sure that you're offering excellent customer service to your customers. However, this could also be costing you money. Why could this be costing you money, Juanita? I'm glad you asked. So one of the reasons this could be costing you money is because of long calls. Typically, answering services, they charge by what we call talk time. Okay. And so talk time is typically the time it takes to answer the question and disposition the call. Also, sometimes they charge by what's known as average handle time. Average handle time is typically what's known as from the time the phone rings or is answered to the time the call is dispositioned and the call is disconnected. Well, if your answering service is taking a long time to answer the question because maybe you haven't given them a good call flow to follow, then you're being charged for a 5-minute call when it really could have taken this call 2 minutes or 1 minute for the customer to get the answer. So long calls is one of the reasons that your answering service could be costing you money. The second reason is lack of process. If you don't have a good process in your business, then it doesn't matter how excellent your answering service is, then the lack of process could really be costing you money in your business. So how do we fix these problems? One is with AHT. Let's make sure that we develop call types to identify be able to identify quickly the type of call that is coming in to the answering service. And then from there, we have what we call call flows so that the answering service, knows how to handle the call and if this call is going to come back to you or if it is going to go into some other kind of process, right? And so if we develop that on onset, so as soon as that call rings into the answering service and we say, okay, well, this is a sales call or this is a customer service call, as an answering service, I know immediately this is a sales call. Okay, I'm going to route you to, entrepreneur phone, right? As opposed to trying to answer this question, this sales question. By doing so, I have now decreased my average handle time, which means the answering service is not charging me for a very lengthy call because they were able to identify quickly, okay, this is a sales call. We don't take their sales calls. The entrepreneur has told me, or the company has told me, as soon as I identify that this is a sales call, route it to this place. Okay. So having your call types identified will drastically save you on average handle time, which will drastically save you on cost from your answering service. And then lastly, the lack of process, right? This kind of ties into what we just talked about, but we want to take it a step further. We want to ensure that your more difficult calls, they definitely have a call flow so that the answering service knows, okay, if they are calling in about a customer service, do you have a frequently ask questions or doc or process doc that tells them, hey, this is what happens when you get this question, or this is the answer to this question. So if someone is calling in and says, hey, what is the price for this? Or, hey, are you open on Sundays? Or, hey, where are you located? Or, hey, whatever those customer service questions are, you have a frequently asked questions doc that when they are getting those questions, they are able to answer them very quickly. Again, going back to average handle time, if they are able to answer the question very quickly and skillfully, because we don't want to sacrifice skill for time, right? We don't want them answering the question very quickly, but then they're answering the question wrong, right? So we want to make sure that not only are they answering the question quickly, but they're giving accurate information. And the way you can systematically make sure that that happens is by providing them a frequently asked question document, right? That as you get asked these new questions, you're adding to that document and providing it to your answering service company. So that way, when they're presented with a new question, they're able to answer it quickly. And then I would even take it a step further and make sure that you're breaking those questions out into categories. Okay, so these are commonly asked billing questions. These are commonly asked location questions. These are commonly asked direction questions. These are commonly asked pricing questions, different things like that. So that when your customer calls in, and we have identified that, yes, this is a call that I'm going to take answering service, then now my next step as an answering service is to look and see, okay, what category does this question fall under? And is their answer already determined for this particular question that the customer may be asking? And so those are just some quick tips on how, if you are leveraging an answering service currently in your business, how you could be saving money with that answering service. You may altogether need to bring your customer service in-house, which means you may need to build out your own customer service team in-house. However, if you're not to that point, these are some tips on how you can save money with your answering service. If you're at a point to where, you have your AHT streamlined, you have your call flow streamlined, and you're just taking massive amounts of calls and you need to actually bring your customer service in-house, we would love to talk to you some more about that. But these are the tips that we have for you today. We hope that you found them helpful. Talk to you all soon. Bye.